Hello everyone. Welcome back to Slow English Stories. I am Leo, your teacher and storyteller. I am so excited to see you today. Today, we are going to dive into the final chapter of a great journey, Kung Fu Panda 3. This is a story about family, teaching, and finding your true power. But before we start, we need to get ready. Please turn off your television, put your phone on silent, and find a quiet place where no one will disturb you. If you can, please wear your headphones. Using headphones will help you hear the wind in the mountains and the clinking of the jade chains very clearly. Are you ready to learn? Let's begin. The Jade Palace was filled with the sweet smell of peach blossoms and the fresh, cold air of the mountains. But inside, there was chaos. Chaos is a word we use when everything is messy, loud, and out of control. Po, the dragon warrior, was trying to teach the Furious Five. He was shouting and waving his arms, but nobody was learning. Po was trying to be a teacher, but he felt like a failure. We use the past continuous tense here, was trying to describe an action that was happening at a specific time in the past. It sets the scene for our story. Po looked at his students and sighed. Mastery seemed very far away. Mastery means having complete control or great skill in something. Suddenly, the ground began to shake. The peaceful sound of the wind was replaced by a heavy, metallic clink-clank. A green light, bright and eerie, flashed in the sky. Eerie is a beautiful word for something that is strange and a little bit scary. A tall, powerful bull named Kai had returned from the spirit realm. The spirit realm is a kingdom or a special place for spirits. Kai had been a prisoner in that world for 500 years. I used the past perfect here had been because this happened a long time before Po became a teacher. Kai wanted to steal the Kai, or the life energy, of every master in China. The stakes were higher than ever. If Kai succeeded, Kung Fu would die forever. Just as the green light faded, a heavy shadow appeared at the palace gates. It was an enormous panda with a kind face and a very large belly. Enormous is a word we use for something that is very, very big, even bigger than large. The stranger was breathing heavily, and the air around him smelled like travel dust and steamed dumplings. Po was stunned. To be stunned means to be so surprised that you cannot speak or move for a moment. Po looked at the stranger's face, and then at his own reflection in a bowl of water. They looked exactly the same. Po realized that this panda had traveled a very long way to find him. I am using the past perfect tense here, had traveled to show that his journey happened before he arrived at the gates. The stranger was actually taller than Po. This is a comparative adjective. We add to short words like tall to compare two people. The stranger looked at Po with tears in his eyes and said, "I am looking for my son." The room was silent, and the only sound was the soft hiss of the wind outside. This moment was full of relief. Relief is that warm, relaxed feeling you get when a worry or a problem finally goes away. But their happy meeting was interrupted by a loud crash. Kai's Jade soldiers, which were formidable meaning they were very strong and difficult to defeat, began to attack the valley. These soldiers didn't breathe. They were made of cold, green stone that clinked like glass. Po's father told him a secret. There is a hidden village in the mountains where pandas know the power of Kai. You must come with me. Po decided to go. We use the verb decide to, followed by another verb to show a choice or a plan. Po hoped that he would find his power there, They began to climb the secret mountain. The air became thinner and colder as they went higher into the clouds. Thinner is another comparative. It means there is less oxygen to breathe because they are very high up. The landscape was beautiful, with bright green grass and waterfalls that sounded like singing voices. Poe felt his heart beating fast. He was walking toward his true home for the first time in his life. Here, I used the past continuous was walking to describe a long action that was happening in the past. But Poe didn't know that Kai was following his tracks, and the green shadows were getting closer. Poe stepped through the thick mist, and his eyes went wide. It was a paradise. The air smelled like abundant amounts of steamed buns and sweet, wild flowers. Abundant means that there is a lot of something. There was so much food. The village was hidden behind a giant, sparkling waterfall. This is the passive voice. We use it when the village being hidden is more important than who actually hid it. Everywhere Poe looked, he saw pandas rolling in the soft grass, napping in the sun, and laughing. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. I used the past perfect again, because his whole life had passed before he finally saw his home. But Poe was worried. He tried to train the pandas like serious soldiers, but they were very clumsy. If you are clumsy, you move in an awkward way, and you often drop things or fall down. Poe realized he could not teach them to be like the Furious Five. This is a modal verb could use to show that he didn't have the ability to change them in the past. He realized that a true teacher helps people become the best version of themselves. If you are a ribbon dancer, be the best ribbon dancer, he shouted. This is a zero conditional. We use it to talk about things that are always true. The pandas began to awaken their true spirit. To awaken means to wake up or to start feeling a power inside you that was sleeping. Suddenly, the green light of Kai appeared at the top of the mountain. He had found them. Kai looked at Poe and sneered, his green jade swords clinking together. He was going to take Poe's Kai and finish his collection. But Poe did something very brave. He grabbed Kai and used the Wuxi finger hold on himself. Skadoosh! A massive explosion of light happened, and they both vanished into the spirit realm. The spirit realm was a magical world of golden light and floating islands. In this world, Poe finally became the true dragon warrior. He had found his legacy. A legacy is something special that is passed down to you from your family or your history. He used his golden Kai to create a giant dragon and defeated Kai once and for all. Poe returned to the village as a hero and a true master. The sky was blue, and the sound of laughter returned to the mountains. Poe finally knew who he was. He was a son, panda, and a teacher. He was the dragon warrior. And that, my friends, is the beautiful conclusion of our Kung Fu Panda journey. I am so incredibly proud of you for finishing all 3 parts of this story. You have learned so many new words and complex grammar points while following Poe's path to greatness. Remember, learning English is just like Kung Fu. It takes practice, patience, and believing in yourself. Before we go, I have one last call to action for you. In the comments below, I want you to tell me which of the 3 stories was your favorite and why. Try to use the word legacy or abundant in your answer. I will be reading and replying to your wonderful sentences. If you enjoyed this series, please give this video a huge like and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Don't forget to subscribe to Slow English Stories and hit that notification bell so you can join me for our next big adventure. Thank you for being such amazing students. I am Lio, and I will see you in our next story. Keep practicing and stay curious. Goodbye.